This is a tiny revolver, and it holds 5 rounds and works in single action, with a safety notch that keeps the hammer halfway back. It's made for 22 calibers. The basic model has a short 1 1/8 inch barrel, a small fixed front sight, and smooth rosewood grips shaped like a bird's head. It's very compact, about 4 inches long, 2.8 inches tall, and 1 inch wide, and it weighs around 6.2 ounces. There are several versions that add different features. The holster grip model has a folding plastic grip that can clip onto a belt. When you open it, it becomes a full-size grip. The ported version has small holes near the muzzle to reduce felt recoil. The Wasp version adds a ribbed, vented barrel, a styled cylinder, and a rubber grip for better control. 2 models change how the gun opens for loading. The Sidewinder has a 1.5 inch barrel and a cylinder that swings out on a spring-loaded arm, so you can reload without taking anything apart. The Ranger 2 is a top break design, similar to old-style revolvers, and both of these use a star-shaped ejector to quickly push out empty cases. There are also slightly larger versions, like the Mini Master and Black Widow. These have longer barrels, heavier bull cylinders, and either fixed or adjustable sights, making them better suited for more precise target-style shooting. This model brings back the classic tip-up barrel design seen on older pistols like the Beretta 21A and Taurus PT22, but updates it with a modern frame and a bit more capacity. It is a small, hammer-fired semi-automatic pistol that uses 22 caliber long rifle ammunition. It has a polymer frame, a stainless steel slide, and a 2.5 inch octagonal barrel. The gun is about 5 inches long, roughly 4 inches tall and 1 inch wide. It weighs only 10 ounces when unloaded. The magazine holds 9 rounds, and you can load 1 more directly into the chamber using its tip-up barrel, so you don't have to pull the slide. The sights are fixed, with an orange front dot to help you aim faster. The trigger pull is on the heavier side at about 10 to 12 pounds. There's a manual safety on both sides of the frame. The tip-up feature makes it easy to load or check the chamber without wrestling with the slide. The grip has texture and shaping to keep your hand steady, plus a beaver tail and a squared trigger guard for better control. The slide has serrations, though you may not need them much because of the tip-up design. This is a small but strong self-defense device. It can be used up close or from a distance, so you don't have to wait for a threat to get near. It sends a powerful electric shock between 45,000 and 70,000 volts. For safety, each burst is limited to 9 joules and automatically stops after 3 seconds. In contact mode, the fixed metal tips on the front are 40 millimeters apart. In remote mode, it can reach targets up to 6 meters away using single-use cartridges that shoot 2 wired electrodes. The device is 17 by 13 by 2 centimeters, weighs up to 270 grams, and runs on a rechargeable battery. In the box, you get the device with a mounted cartridge bay, a user manual, a charger, and a belt pouch. Even after you fire a remote cartridge, the front electrodes still work for contact use. There's a safety lock to prevent accidents and a light that shows the battery level. A built-in timer cuts the power after 3 seconds. When used in remote mode, the cartridge sticks 2 wired electrodes to the target and delivers a shock for up to 3 seconds. Right after that, the device automatically switches to contact mode, creating an electric arc at the front. Both modes are intended to stop an attacker quickly by disrupting muscle control. On one charge, the battery can handle several contact mode bursts and 1 full power remote shot. It charges with a standard plug and holds its charge for months, even if you practice a bit. This pocket-sized device is made to scare off animals. Think about the size of a wallet and light enough to slip into a pocket. It runs on 2 coin cell batteries you can replace yourself, and they're good for hundreds of uses. There's a slide safety to prevent accidental firing, an LED that shows battery level and when it's ready, and a comfortable trigger under your index finger with a short grip so it stays steady in your hand. It uses original anti-dog cartridges. The flashbang cartridge makes a very bright flash and a very loud bang, strong enough to startle even large animals like bears. It works best at around 5 meters, and in good conditions, the light and sound can carry farther. There's also a signal flare cartridge that shoots a red or green light high into the air for a few seconds, which can be seen from far away at night. The device was developed in Russia and distributed by Signal SOS. It's meant for people who might run into animal threats, like hikers, hunters, emergency crews, or folks living where stray dogs are common. In Russia, adults 18 plus can own and carry it without a permit. It's designed so it doesn't look like a firearm, and it works with older anti-dog cartridges, so you don't have to replace your whole set if you already have them. This handheld launcher is small and light, about 6 inches long, 1.65 inches tall, and only 1.5 ounces. It uses a tiny 1.8 gram nitrogen cartridge to fire a quick burst of pepper powder. That burst hits as hard as 3 pepper ball rounds. It's made for close range use. It works best at about 10 feet and can sometimes reach up to 15 feet if conditions are good. The body is tough glass-filled nylon, so it can take rough handling without adding weight. The trigger needs about 8 pounds of pressure, which helps prevent accidents, and there's a quick flip safety for extra control. A metal clip lets you carry it on a belt, vest, or wherever is handy. You can choose from 3 cartridge types: Inert for practice, LiveX for regular use, and LiveMax for extra intensity. It comes preloaded and doesn't use batteries. When it's empty, just swap the powder cartridge and the nitrogen cartridge. Reloading is fast and simple. This tool is built for speed. Correctional officers use it in tight, high-risk moments like cell moves. Police and security rely on it when space is limited. Inside cars, narrow stairwells, or crowded areas. Civilians can use it too as a ready-to-go self-defense option. This gas-powered pistol has 4 barrels. Each barrel holds 1 BB, either 6mm or 8mm, inside a shell-style cartridge that you can remove. The gas sits in the grip. Every time you pull the trigger, it fires 1 shot and moves to the next barrel in order. Loading is simple. The gun swings open on a hinge, just like the real firearm it copies. With 6mm BBs, it shoots around 160 fires per second. With 8mm rubber darts, it's about 150 fires per second. Expect a usable range of roughly 8 to 10 meters. It's compact and light. The pistol is about 140mm long, 104mm tall, and around 300 grams in weight, depending on whether the body is plastic or a heavier alloy. The look is very close to the real COP.357, a backup gun once carried by police. Marushin even kept the engraved markings and the long, steady trigger pull. That trigger can feel slow, but it's part of the realism. There's no blowback, so there are fewer moving parts and less to break. The break-open action, hinge and locking latch are sturdy and hold up well over time. Metal-bodied versions feel cold and solid in the hand, and the parts fit together neatly. While it works fine as an airsoft piece, most people don't use it in matches. Many fields don't allow rubber darts, and having only 4 shots before reloading isn't very practical. This crossbow is small but strong. It's 22.7 inches long and weighs just less than 7 pounds. With the 120-pound limbs, it shoots bolts up to 250 feet per second. You can change the limb sets to 30, 60, 90, or 120 pounds, so it's easy to set the power level that suits you. It uses slim carbon bolts that are 5.5 millimeters wide and weigh 142 grains. These bolts are made specifically for this system. That helps accuracy, but it means most other arrows won't fit. The magazine holds 7 bolts by default, and there's an optional upgrade to hold 12. Reloading works differently here. Instead of a fold-out or under-lever, the top section slides forward on a front pivot to cock it. This lets you keep your sights on the target while you reset for the next shot. With practice, you can send all 7 bolts in roughly 4 seconds. There's a fire selector with 2 choices. In single shot mode, the safety turns back on after every shot. In the faster mode, you can keep shooting without stopping each time. The trigger is separate from the cocking system to prevent pinched fingers, and it has a smooth pull at around 3.5 pounds. This compact pistol that shoots .25 caliber using a basic blowback system. It's about 4.6 inches long, has a 2.1-inch barrel, and weighs a little over a pound when it's empty. It came in 2 versions. The Model 2A has a 6-round magazine and a shorter grip. The Model 3A is slightly bigger and holds 9 rounds. Its standout feature is a special lever at the front of the trigger guard. Pulling this lever back works like a second trigger. It cocks the hammer and loads around so the gun is ready to fire in one smooth motion. The idea was created by Witold Chlewski, who filed a patent in 1912. Back then, many semi-auto pistols had to be carried with a round already in the chamber if you wanted quick use, which wasn't very safe. Chlewski's design aimed to fix that. You could carry the pistol with an empty chamber and still load and fire with one hand when needed. In total, about 40,000 to 50,000 were made from 1912 through the late 1920s. Mechanically, the slide stayed locked forward until you pulled the trigger guard lever, which then released the slide and chambered around. Some versions had a small indicator on the back of the grip to show if the hammer was cocked. It may look tiny, but the WE Colt is a well-made little airsoft pistol. It's based on the classic Colt pocket gun and is small enough to sit in your palm, about 12 centimeters long and 8.8 centimeters tall. Despite the size, it feels solid. The frame, slide, and barrel are all metal, weighing around 350 grams. Inside, there's a 51mm inner barrel and an adjustable hop-up to help keep shots accurate at short range. The standard magazine holds 7 BBs, plus 1 in the chamber. It's a slim, single-stack mag, and the CT25 can also use extended 3.8-inch magazines. The pistol uses a gas blowback system, so the slide cycles when you shoot, and it works with green gas, red gas, and propane. It fires semi-auto only. The safety lever locks the slide and also acts as the takedown latch. There's a magazine disconnect, and after the last shot, the hammer falls for extra realism. The outer barrel is threaded under the orange tip, so you can add a tracer or mock suppressor with common 11mm or 14mm adapters. It also comes with a dry fire insert, so you can practice without loading BBs. If you like to tinker, there are remag kits that let you convert it to HPA, or even to full auto, without permanent changes. This is a tiny, rare, and surprisingly strong little gun. The Mother of Pearl edition isn't just for display, it actually works. It fires 2mm pinfire cartridges. Most versions are about 4 to 7 centimeters long and weigh around 10 to 14 grams. The grips are real mother-of-pearl set into polished metal. Some models add gold accents or hand-engraved details. Others use stainless steel or plated alloys. Everything is finished with careful attention to detail. Even though it's small, it isn't a toy. It uses real pinfire cartridges, tiny rounds with a small side pin the hammer strikes to fire. Depending on the model, it can shoot blanks, small signal flares, or even tiny lead projectiles. Some versions reach speeds up to about 1,000 feet per second, which is impressive for something this small. This edition is made in very limited numbers, sometimes only 25 of a style, so collectors really want them. Exact kit details can vary, but they're usually similar to the maker's other releases. The design goes back to the 1800s and the work of Casimir Lefaucheuse, who created the Pinfire cartridge to make loading faster than older systems. While that technology faded by the late 19th century, these miniguns keep the idea alive and still working. It's for adults only and must be handled carefully. It fires real ammunition, so follow proper safety rules. This pistol has been made continuously since 1999 and was built for discreet carry. It is very small and light. It weighs less than 7 ounces, is a little over 5 inches long, and less than an inch wide. It uses 32 calibers and is semi-automatic. The trigger is double action only and fairly light at about 5 pounds. The barrel is about 2.7 inches long, the height is around 3.5 inches, and the grip is slim, about 3/4 of an inch, so it hides easily in a pocket or waistband. The standard magazine holds 7 rounds, plus 1 in the chamber, and some 10-round magazines still exist. It has an internal hammer and an internal safety block, but no external safeties or trigger safety. The sights are fixed and very low so they don't snag. The slide locks open when the magazine is empty, but there's no external slide release. You pull and let go of the slide to close it. The magazine release is on the left side, and because the gun is so thin, it can be pressed by accident. Its locked breech design, unusual for this caliber, helps soften recoil and makes it easier to control. Wrist knives are made to sit close to your forearm so you can pull them out quickly. Many basic models use stainless steel, which keeps a decent edge and doesn't rust easily. More expensive versions use carbon or tool steel for a sharper blade that lasts longer. Most blades are about 3.5 to 4 inches long. This size keeps them compact but still useful. Some designs are longer, up to 6 inches, especially those that look more like a forearm guard. Many knives are full tang, meaning the metal of the blade runs through the whole handle, which makes them stronger. The straps that hold the knife to your arm can be made from molded plastic, nylon, leather, or even wood, depending on the style. The sheath fastens straight to your forearm with straps, buckles, or Velcro. A single blade usually weighs about 2.2 ounces, and a set with 2 blades can be close to 6 ounces. They're shaped to lie flat against your arm and to be drawn without bending your wrist in an uncomfortable way. This pistol first was made in France and later in the United States by Precision Small Arms. This is a very small, semi-automatic pistol that was considered quite well for its time. It uses a simple self-cycling design and fires the tiny 25 caliber round. The magazine holds 6 shots. The barrel is just over 2 inches long, and the whole gun is a little over 4 inches in length, weighing less than half a kilo. It has basic fixed sights. Later models added extra safety features like a thumb safety, a magazine disconnect, and a chamber indicator. How fast the bullet travels depends on the ammo. The story starts in Belgium in 1906, when famous designer John Browning released it through Fabrique Nationale as the FN model 1906. It quickly became known as a pocket pistol, easy to hide, yet dependable. In the late 1920s, FN engineer Dieudonné Save updated the design. He removed the grip safety, smoothed the shape so it felt better in the hand, and improved the safety system. The updated version, called the Baby Browning, came out in 1931. From 1984 onward, new versions used modern machining and came in different materials, with some fancy engraved editions for collectors. The big advantage of Next Revolver is how easy it is to carry. It practically disappears in a pocket, even in tighter clothes. It's surprising how small it is. The NAA Mini Revolver is only about 4 inches long and a little over 4.5 ounces when empty. It's one of the tiniest repeating handguns you can buy. It holds 5 rounds, works in single action. You have to cock the hammer for each shot, and it's made entirely of stainless steel. The barrel is just over an inch long. The grip is the small bird's head style, and the sights are minimal. There's a tiny front blade, no rear sight, and no trigger guard. The trigger pull is around 4.8 pounds. For safety, there's a notch between each chamber, so the hammer doesn't rest on a live round. That means you can carry it fully loaded without the hammer touching a cartridge. To fire it, you cock the hammer before every shot. Reloading is slow and fussy. You have to take the cylinder out, push out the empty cases, load each round one by one, and put it back together. It's not something you'd want to do under stress. Because it's so small, accuracy is limited. The tiny grip doesn't give you much to hold, and people with larger hands may find it awkward. At short distances, around 7 yards, it can reliably hit a chest-sized target, but making precise shots is hard. Pointing and shooting tends to work better than trying to line up a fine sight picture. The designer of this shotgun is Mark Serbu from Florida. About 6,000 were made from 1996 to 2022, before the company shifted focus to .50 caliber rifles. It also became well known thanks to appearances in movies like Bad Boys 2 or The Expendables. It's small, very loud, and built with no frills. It's a pump-action 12-gauge that can shoot 3-inch shells. Some special orders were made in 20-gauge. In the US, it's classified as an any other weapon. It first used the Mossberg Maverick 88 as its base, and later some were built with Mossberg 500 and Remington 870 receivers. The shortest model has a 6.5-inch barrel, weighs about 4 pounds, and is only 16.5 inches long overall. Versions with 9 or 12-inch barrels are longer, 19 or 22 inches, and can hold a few more shells. It loads from an internal tube magazine, and you cycle it by pumping a foregrip that folds and locks in place. Most hold 2+1 shells, but models with longer tubes can carry up to 4+1. There are no sights included, but many receivers are ready for an optic. It kicks hard, especially with heavier ammo, and the short size makes fast follow-up shots tricky. At close range it does well, keeping a tight pattern out to around 10 yards. It's generally reliable, though some people have had reloaded shells stick now and then. It's loud, strong, and extreme on purpose. It won't be for everyone, but fans say there's nothing else quite like it. Next is fast. It measures 26.5 inches long and 5.75 inches wide when cocked, and weighs just over 7 pounds. Thanks to a 13.6-inch power stroke, it launches 410 arrows up to 460 feet per second. To keep shots accurate, the rail-free zero-track barrel reduces friction, and the guide lock holds the arrow steady at 3 points so it stays lined up. The reverse draw design moves the limbs closer to you and lengthens the power stroke. That helps the TRX 26 shoot faster with less kick. 10 points twin riser setup, one riser on top and one on bottom, cuts weight and stiffens the frame for better balance. Out of the box, it's ready to hunt. You get a factory-sighted Rangemaster scope, 3 center punch HPX carbon arrows with Alpha Nox, a quiver, a cocking handle, and other essentials. You can also upgrade to a laser rangefinding scope if you want. Noise measured about 107 decibels, making it one of the quieter models in its class. It handles tight spaces like tree stands and blinds well, and it's earned strong reviews from hunters who want speed and control. Next models will appeal to anyone who likes compact carry guns, roughly the size of an iPhone and ultra slim. It's only 0.8 inches wide, about 25 ounces in weight, and 6.1 inches long. It works with a single-action, striker-style system, and an internal hammer. Depending on the magazine, it holds either 5+1 or 7+1 rounds. The frame, barrel, and slide are all machined from stainless steel, no polymer parts. The sights are fixed and low profile, with upgrade options on some versions. For safety, it has a front strap grip safety and an ambidextrous thumb safety, both sitting flush so they don't snag. Instead of the usual locked breech setup, it uses simple blowback. The recoil spring sits over the barrel, which keeps the barrel low in your hand. That pushes recoil straight back instead of up. Combined with the all-metal weight, this helps cut down on muzzle flip and makes it easier to control with full power ammo. In testing at 10 yards, groups ran between about 1.45 and 1.76 inches, depending on the ammo. The gun is flat and compact, with smooth, slab-sided surfaces that help it carry well in clothing or a bag. Taking it apart is easy, you just rotate a pin near the muzzle to remove the slide. The trade-offs are the limited magazine capacity and a weight you'll notice if you try true pocket carry. The Taurus Spectrum is designed to be easy to carry and easy to handle. With a 2.8-inch barrel and a total length of about 5.4 inches, it's compact enough to disappear in a waistband or pocket. Height with the standard flush magazine is around 3.8 inches, and it weighs just over 10 ounces when empty, about 15 ounces when fully loaded. The frame is polymer, with soft touch inserts on the grip, and slide to give your hands a better hold. It's about 0.89 inches wide, just a little wider near the slide stop. This is a true double action only pistol, meaning the trigger does all the work. There's no internal preload on the striker, which adds a layer of safety, but also means a longer, deliberate pull, roughly 8 pounds. Taurus released the Spectrum in 2017. Every edge is smooth to prevent snags, and the rear of the slide uses traction pads instead of traditional serrations, making it easier to rack, especially if your hands are slick or you're under stress. It comes with 2 magazine options, a flush 6-round mag and a 7-round extended version that adds a bit more grip space. The magazine release is reversible. Sights are fixed and low profile to keep things minimal. The Honeybee is a small handgun that packs in a lot. It has a 3-inch barrel and a tough, textured finish. It fires 2 shots and opens from the top to load. You can buy it in several common calibers. It weighs about 17.5 ounces, is roughly 5.5 inches long, and a little over 4 inches tall. That extra weight helps soften the recoil. The trigger is intentionally heavy at around 7 pounds, and it includes safety features like a rebounding hammer, retractable firing pins, and a manual cross-bolt safety. The extended B6 resin grip makes it more comfortable than many tiny two-shot guns. It has diamond texturing, a slight palm swell, and a pinky cutout, so it fills the hand better. The grip angle can cause the muzzle to lift a bit at first, but a little dry fire practice helps. It's accurate enough at normal self-defense distances. The sights are fixed and low, which keeps them from catching on pockets or holsters. A handy feature is the ability to swap barrels. If you buy a centerfire version, you can change barrels at the range with a small wrench after you've done it once or twice. This isn't meant to be a precision target gun, it's backup option. At about $320, the price is reasonable for what you get. This is a simple fixed blade dagger that's easy to hide but effective when needed. It's 5 inches long with a 2.5-inch double-edged blade. The blade has a non-reflective black finish and a center groove, so it moves in and out smoothly. Some versions add short serrations on one edge for cutting things like rope. The handle is tough thermoplastic rubber with a grippy texture that stays secure even when wet. A built-in guard helps keep your hand from slipping. It weighs only 68 grams, so it's light to carry. The molded plastic sheath includes a lanyard hole and often a cord for neck carry, giving you a few ways to keep it close. This knife isn't a general tool. It's not for opening boxes, carving wood, or camping chores. It's built for quick, controlled use when speed matter. Its slim shape and double-edged blade make it a last resort defensive option or backup where fast access counts, whether held forward or in reverse. The Kimber Micro 9 is a compact 9mm pistol built in a classic style. It's small and light, about 6.1 inches long, just over 4 inches tall, a bit over an inch wide, and roughly 15.6 ounces unloaded, so it's easy to carry. It uses a 3.5-inch barrel and a matching stainless slide on an aluminum frame, which keeps weight down without feeling cheap. Despite the size, it's designed to handle recoil fairly well. A full-length guide rod and a lighter recoil spring help keep the muzzle from jumping too much. You can choose different magazine sizes, a standard 7-round mag, a flush 6-round for the smallest profile, or an extended 8-round for more grip. The trigger is aluminum and officially rated around 7 pounds, though many users say it feels closer to 5. Sights are fixed steel 3-dots, and the standard grips are rosewood. Controls will feel familiar to anyone who knows 1911s. There's a manual thumb safety, a slide release, and a magazine release in the usual spots. Practical touches include a flared, lowered ejection port for reliable ejection, and a beveled mag well to make reloads smoother. On the range, people often find it shoots better than they expect for such a small pistol. There are some downsides. A few owners report feeding issues, especially with certain hollow point ammo, or if the gun gets dirty during longer sessions. Problems tend to show up after about 100 rounds without cleaning. Price is another sticking point. Most versions run about $650 to $900, which is higher than many polymer-framed alternatives. This self-defense device is made in Tula, Russia. It weighs about 127 grams with 2 cartridges loaded. The body is plastic, but inside there's a sturdy spring-powered mechanism. It has 2 barrels that each holds 1 BAM cartridge. The 2 triggers work independently, so you can fire one barrel or the other. In basic terms, you load the cartridges, get the mechanism ready, switch off the safety, and press the trigger. After a shot, the empty cartridge pops out on its own. It's built to work in cold and heat and is rated for around 500 trigger pulls before wear shows. The Charodey uses standard BAM cartridges, like tear gas, pepper spray, or flash noise types such as GROM or Signal Hunter. With the included adapters, it can also fire signal cartridges. There are two versions if you want extras. The Charodey L has a built-in laser pointer, and the Charodey F has a simple flashlight. It's intended for civilian use and doesn't require a firearm license for adults 18+. Owners generally find it solid and reliable, though some report occasional issues with ejection or shot alignment. That's partly because there are no aiming aids, and the device gives a noticeable jolt when fired. Once loaded and cocked, it stays secure until you choose to use it. This lower is different from the usual rifle parts. It combines the trigger and the chassis into one clean piece. It weighs only 12.7 ounces. It works with most Ruger 1022 rifles, both fixed barrel and takedown, except left-handed or X-ring receivers. A full build on this frame can stay under 4 pounds, even with a scope and a loaded magazine. The trigger is the ultimate trigger kit. It has a flat, textured face that feels smooth and quick. You can set the pull weight from about 2.25 to over 5 pounds. There's no slack before the break, and you can fine-tune how much it moves after the break. The safety works for both right and left-handed users with a short, easy turn. The fire switch magazine release can be pushed or pulled. There's also an extended bolt lock, so you can hold the bolt open with one hand. When you take it apart, there's a small storage spot inside for the pins and bolt buffer so you don't lose them. A handy feature is that the barrel, receiver, and optic can come off and go back on together, and your zero stays the same thanks to self-capturing pins. It takes AR-style pistol grips. On the back, there's a Picatinny section for adding a stock or brace, either flat or angled at 12 degrees. A sling cup is included and can be moved to either side. You can also choose the PRO bundle. It adds a folding stock with a rubber pad, a hive grip with storage inside, and an M-lock forend for accessories, for fixed barrels only. Buying the bundle costs less than getting each part separately. This crossbow is small and light, about 2.5 pounds and 16 inches long. But it can shoot up to 300 feet per second. The draw weight is 130 pounds, but a built-in system makes it much easier to cock. You only need around 40 pounds of force, and you can do it with one hand. It's 5 inches wide when cocked, and about 8 inches when not. The 6.75-inch power stroke gives it solid accuracy and impact at short range. The body is mostly aircraft-grade aluminum, so it's sturdy without being heavy. It slips into a standard 30-liter backpack with no need for straps or a bulky case. There's a Picatinny rail on top for adding a red dot or scope, and some versions have a second rail underneath for extra accessories. Using 13-inch, 150-grain carbon bolts, it delivers roughly 25 foot-pounds of energy. Good for small to mid-sized game within about 20 yards. It's quiet, reloads in around 3 seconds, and doesn't demand much upper body strength, so a wide range of people can use it comfortably. You can add a 6-shot magazine that automatically feeds the next bolt and helps prevent misfires. Folding stocks, T or L style, are available for better control. If you want more power, the Batty reverse version bumps the draw weight to 150 pounds, stretches the power stroke to 8.25 inches, and can reach about 340 to up to 420 feet per second, depending on the setup. This is a shotgun with a 3-inch chamber and a 5-shot revolving cylinder. It works in double action, so you just pull the trigger for each shot. You can choose a shorter 9.8-inch barrel or a longer 12.2-inch one. Overall length is about 24 to 28.3 inches, and it weighs roughly 4.5 to 5.1 pounds. It has a classic walnut stock with sharp checkering for grip and a thick rubber pad to soften recoil. It's built to meet Canadian legal rules and offers a different twist on the shotgun idea. The revolving cylinder means quick follow-up shots. It's meant for people who like unusual designs, beginners who want something easy, or collectors. It can use steel shot, so you're not limited to lead ammo. User reviews are mixed. Some report problems like the trigger locking up or the cylinder not turning correctly. Others notice a gap between the cylinder and barrel that can blow hot gas out the side. The finish can look uneven and feel rough. The trigger pull is heavy, and with only 5 rounds in a side-opening cylinder, reloading isn't fast. Overall, it's an interesting piece with some charm, but also clear drawbacks. This is a very loud shotgun that's hard to miss. It's an over-under 12 gauge, meaning 2 barrels stacked on top of each other. It can fire powerful 3-inch Magnum shells, but most people use mini shells because they kick less. Barrels range from very short, about 24 centimeters, to long, 76 centimeters. The 33 centimeter barrel is the favorite because it keeps the whole gun under 66 centimeters. In Canada, with a fixed stock, that setup counts as non-restricted. It weighs around 3.1 kilograms. This isn't a gun you take for an all-day hunt or for shooting hundreds of rounds. Recoil is strong, especially with full power ammo. Many people say it feels like getting punched. It's accurate enough up close, but the short barrel and tight sights make precision tough. Most owners say it runs reliably, but it isn't built for heavy, long-term use. After a lot of shooting, the safety or latch can wear, and replacement parts aren't always easy to find. People don't usually buy this for top performance. They buy it because it's fun, legal in some places, where other short shotguns aren't, and it looks unique. The name 1879 Tombstone refers to Tombstone, Arizona, famous for silver mining, and figures like Wyatt Earp and Doc Holliday. Real coach guns back then were full-size and used in real fights. This is different. A modern, compact tribute to that era. It is a 2-barrel shotgun-style replica. It shoots 4.5mm steel BBs and uses small percussion caps for power. You open it in the middle, and the 2 outside hammers have to be cocked by hand before each shot. There are no modern cartridges. Everything is loaded by hand. It's low power, so it's meant for short-range shots at paper targets or other soft backstops. It looks like something from the Old West, but it isn't a smaller copy of any one real gun. It just borrows the style while keeping the inner workings very simple. It's about the size of an airsoft or BB replica and weighs under 2 pounds. In one video, you can see the basic process. BBs go into the barrels, caps go on, the hammers are cocked, and you can fire 2 quick shots. Another video shows a special limited edition version with engraving and a display case from the American Iconic Gun series. Push your thumb, and the blade snaps out quickly and locks in place. Designed by Joe Caswell, it uses the kinematic system, so the blade swings forward from the front instead of folding out like a normal pocket knife. It feels a bit futuristic and gives you fast, controlled opening. The regular Provoke has a 2.4-inch blade made from steel with titanium coating. It's on the heavier side at about 6.10 ounces. The blade is thick, 0.21 inches. Open, it measures 7.2 inches. Closed, about 4.9 inches. If you want something lighter for everyday carry, the EDC version keeps the same open length but drops to 3.60 ounces. It swaps in a 2.56-inch drop point blade. The blade is a bit thicker at 0.2 inches, and it closes down a little shorter at 4.6 inches. There's also a Grivery model that splits the difference on weight at around 4 ounces. Every Provoke is made in Taiwan and covered by US patents. Micro Midas is a classic-looking action rifle. It has a glossy walnut stock and blued steel, so it looks traditional. You can add a scope later because the top is grooved for it. It shoots 3 common rimfire rounds: .2, too short, .2, too long, and .2, too long rifle. The tube under the barrel holds 11 rounds. The barrel is 16¼ inches with a protected muzzle. It's light, about 4 pounds 12 ounces. The trigger is gold colored and moves with the lever, and the lever only needs a short 33-degree swing, so cycling is quick. You also get adjustable iron sights and a smooth, polished chamber. This isn't just a shrunken. It's built for smaller hands and shorter arms, so it fits kids and any adult who wants an easier, handier rifle. It balances well, carries easily, and feels quick from shot to shot. Owners often say it's very accurate right out of the box, especially at the short to mid ranges where .22s shine. Shooting .22 shorts makes it quieter, which is nice for backyard plinking, where legal, or a quiet walk in the woods. Many people praise how smooth the action feels, almost like a semi-automatic. In personal safety gear, many brands aim for 2 things: keep it simple and keep it surprising. This ring is a good example. At first glance, it looks like a normal ring. Hidden under a soft cover is a small blade made from tough, glass-reinforced nylon. It only shows when you press the ring firmly against something. There's no button or switch, just an automatic reaction to impact, so it stays out of the way until it's needed. It comes in 2 sizes: medium and large. Each ring includes 5 inserts so you can adjust the fit. It's meant for your dominant hand, ideally the index or middle finger. Once it's on, it stays put. Many runners say they forget it's even there, and testers say it feels natural to wear. One woman says this ring helped her escape an attack while jogging. She fought back, the attacker ran off, and he was later caught. Stories like this have built the product's reputation. On the brand site, hundreds of reviews mention the same things. It's low profile, easy to wear, and helps people feel prepared without drawing attention. You can get it in 6 colors for just $14. This revolver runs on a single 12-gram CO2 cartridge that sits behind a cap, flush with the body when it's closed. Made by Stoeger Airguns, this model is meant to sit between practical self-defense training and fun target shooting, useful in places with tighter firearm rules. It shoots 50 caliber rubber balls with speeds around 330 feet per second. It uses a 6-shot drum that turns smoothly, so reloads are quick. The gun is 30 centimeters long with a 13 centimeters barrel and weighs about 700 grams. The trigger is shaped for a clean, consistent pull. A bright fiber optic front sight makes aiming faster. A small pressure pin shows when the CO2 is active, and a red marker lets you know the cartridge is correctly loaded. A vented muzzle brake helps keep shots stable by easing the pressure behind the ball. There are limits to keep in mind. It holds 6 shots, and performance can change with temperature or CO2 pressure. This airgun shoots pellets fast, up to 810 fires per second. It uses a 40cc air cylinder you fill to 250 bar. From a full fill, you can expect roughly 15 to 24 strong shots, and up to about 60 shots total before you should top it up again. The barrel is 20 centimeters long, and it's inside a shroud to keep things stable and a bit quieter. As a pistol, it is about 38 centimeters long and 0.9 kilograms. It loads from rotary magazines, 8 shots. You get 2 magazines in the box plus a single shot tray. The side lever is on the left for easy reach. Flip-up fiber optic sights are built in, rear and front, and there's an 11mm dovetail on top for a scope or red dot. The polymer stock adjusts for length and can be removed entirely. The cheek rest moves too, and the butt pad has ridges, so it sits better on your shoulder. The grip works for left or right-handed shooters and has molded grooves for control. A manual safety is inside the trigger guard. Everything about this rifle is built to teach good habits. Because you load one shot at a time, there's no rushing. Beginners get time to focus on stance, aiming, and trigger control. Despite its small size, it's impressively accurate. Many people see tight groups at 25 yards with regular .22 ammo. It's light, about 2.7 pounds, and short, a little over 30 inches. So it's easy to hold and shoulder. The stock is plain black plastic, and the barrel and receiver are carbon steel with a smooth satin look. It has basic metal peep sights you can adjust. Loading is slow and simple on purpose. There's no magazine. You place 1.22 round on the feed ramp, close the bolt to chamber it, and you're ready. Lifting the bolt cocks the rifle, and you can safely unload it without pulling the trigger. The AccuTrigger is adjustable and usually set around 3.5 pounds, so the pull feels clean and predictable. There are a couple of quirks. If the bolt isn't fully closed, you might get a misfire. And sometimes you have to pull the bolt a bit harder to get the empty case out. These are minor issues and easy to handle as you learn. This is a full-size 9mm pistol, built to stay steady when you shoot. It weighs about 47.6 ounces unloaded, has a 4.9-inch barrel, and is roughly 8.8 inches long, at about 5.8 inches tall and 1.8 inches wide. It uses a proven short recoil, tilting block system, and comes with 2 15-round magazines that have large rubber base pads to make reloads quicker. The all-steel Vertec frame sits high in your hand to keep the muzzle from flipping up, and the heavier Brigadier slide adds helpful weight on top. Deep grooves at the front and back of the slide make it easy to rack, even when you're stressed. The trigger is a highlight. The Extreme S system is light and crisp, about 2.8 pounds in single action and around 6 pounds in double action. The reset is short, up to 40% shorter than a standard 92. So follow-up shots come quickly. The grip has aggressive texture on the front and back, plus wraparound panels for a secure hold. There's a low-profile slide stop that stays out of the way during reloads, and the extractor sticks out slightly when a round is in the chamber, so you can confirm it by touch or a quick look. Since it came out in 2021, this pistol has earned a name for performing above its size. It is small 9mm that still feels capable. It holds 10+1 or 12+1 rounds, yet the gun is only about 6 inches long and less than an inch wide. It weighs just over 18 ounces when empty, so it's easy to carry. Every version has a bright tritium fiber optic front sight and an adjustable rear sight. It uses a striker-fired trigger that's quick and crisp, and it has internal safety features. Some models add a manual safety or a loaded chamber indicator. The one-piece internal chassis keeps things tight under recoil, helping the gun run consistently over time. Testers report smooth feeding with factory ammo, easy to manage recoil, and good accuracy at normal self-defense distances. The grip texture gives enough traction without being harsh, and the extended magazine gives your hand a little more room. For more, you will get 2 magazines, a 10-round and a 12-round, both with finger extensions. There are a couple of compromises. There's no rail for a light or laser, and you need a tool to take it apart, which isn't ideal for quick cleaning. Released in 2020 as a smaller version of the PC carbine, it works with lots of accessories, red dot sights, different triggers, and braces, where legal. The Ruger PC Charger is a compact 9mm pistol that uses a blowback system with extra weight in the bolt. It has a 6.5-inch steel barrel that's cold hammer. Inside, the barrel has a 1x10 twist suited to typical 9mm bullets. Up front, there's an aluminum handguard with MLOK slots on the sides and bottom so you can attach accessories. A built-in hand stop under the front helps your support hand stay in place. The polymer chassis accepts AR-style pistol grips, has quick detach sling points at the rear, and a flared magazine well to speed up reloads. The safety is a push button in front of the trigger, and it is easy to come apart. With the bolt locked back, a quick push and twist lets you separate the barrel and handguard from the receiver for easy storage or swapping barrels. It includes magazine wells for both Ruger and Glock pattern magazines, and models are available for 17-round or 10-round setups.